Let's begin with a basic explanation of the class trial. So, your votes will determine the results. If you can figure out who done it, then only they will receive punishment. But if you pick the wrong one, then I'll punish everyone besides the blackened. And
And the killer really is one of us, right?
of course!
Okay then. Everyone,
Don't be a goddamn idiot. Why the hell would they raise their hand?
Before we move on and start the trial, can I... What's going on with those...
I'd feel awful if they got left out just because they died. Friendship penetrates even death's barrier.
Friendship penetrates?
Okay, but what about that other empty seat? There were only 15 of us to begin with, so...
Oh, no reason. It's just that our little courtroom here can technically fit up to 16 people. Okay, that about first up is the case summary.
I assert that the one who was murdered was Miss Sayaka Maizono!
Yeah, we know that part already.
And the murder took place in Makoto's room.
In the bathroom.
So it seems most likely that the killer must have taken her by surprise while she was in the bathroom. She didn't even have a chance to resist.
No, that's wrong! Just a second, Chihiro. Try to remember how my room looked. With the way things had been damaged, I think we can definitely assume there was a struggle.
A struggle?
Between Sayaka and the killer, of course.
So you're saying Sayaka wasn't caught by surprise in the bathroom?
She must have been attacked in the main room first. Then, she ran to the bathroom to try and hide. The killer followed her in, and that's where they finished the job.
That much should have been obvious after taking one look at the
Sorry.
Okay, so...
Next is the subject of the murder. Wow, this is starting to sound like a real trial. So what was used to kill her?
There was some kind of sharp object thrust into her stomach. Without a doubt, that is the murder weapon!
So the killer used some random knife they had?
No, that's wrong! No. I do think it was a knife, but not just any knife. I'm almost positive it was a kitchen knife.
Huh? A kid?
After the murder, we discovered that one of the knives from the—
Which means that knife must be the murder weapon.
Oh, yeah. I guess that makes... And if you look real close, I could totally see that being a kitchen knife.
Okay, so the murder weapon was a kitchen knife, but where does that get— I mean, we all know Makoto killed her, right?
That's right. Makoto's room was the scene of the...
Hold on a second.
Let's draw our conclusions after.
Well, we can talk all we want.
I don't think that's true at all.
You really believe that?
So I guess there's no question that the kitchen knife was the murder weapon. But where does that get us?
Makoto must have taken it from the kitchen, right? He did it in secret when...
No, that's wrong! Okay, wait. Hold on. I didn't take the knife from the kitchen.
Next you're gonna say you're not the killer, right? Go ahead and say it all you want.
Well, what if I have a witness? What do you think, Hina?
Huh?
Remember what you were telling me earlier? Just to be perfectly clear, the knife disappeared while you were in the dining...
Yeah.
And at any point while you were there.
You don't think?
No, he definitely was.
The knife disappeared while Hina was in the dining hall. In other words, there's no...
Okay, then what if the idiot swimmer girl and Makoto are in on it together and lying to protect each other?
Idiot swimmer girl? Oh, and more importantly, why would I get involved in something like that?
Speaking of which, I'd like to ask the bear.
So you ask, and so I shall answer. Each murder is allowed to have an accomplice, but only the one who does the killing will get to graduate.
So in other words, two people can work together, but one of them has no chance of profiting from it.
Then there's no way anyone would work together, right?
But what if they did work together and they just didn't know about the rule?
Good grief! Enough already! No, okay? There are no accomplices in this case! Oops! Did I say that out loud?
Anyway, I didn't go to the dining hall, so I'm not the killer.
Okay, so then...
Hina seems the obvious candidate. After all, she just said she was in the dining hall.
No, no way! I swear it wasn't me!
Sure, but can you or anyone else prove I can?
That's right! Sakura was with me the entire time I was drinking my tea.
I hate to have to ask, but just to be sure,
Me.
Right.
But then, couldn't either one of them have grabbed the knife?
Actually, no.
Just spit it out.
I stayed in Hina's room.
I got so scared thanks to those creepy videos. I wasn't really thinking, which means we have airtight out.
You stayed over? Doesn't that violate one of the school
We're not allowed to sleep anywhere but the dorms, but it doesn't say we have to stay in our assigned room, so I don't think that's a problem.
It is a problem! A boy and a girl spending the night together? It's unwholesome!
But I'm a girl.
What? You are? Oh my gosh, I'm so sorry!
But if it wasn't either of you, then what other possibility is there?
Actually, there is one other possibility.
Oh, yeah, that's true! One other person did come to the dining hall while we were there.
Why didn't you say so in the first...
Well, because... they're... Sayaka. She's the one who came to the dining hall. And then later, she wound up dead.
I got it! Then, Sayaka is the one who took the knife?
That's the only possibility. And thinking back on it, she was acting kind of when she came into the dining hall. She didn't. As she left, she said she just wanted to.
And the person who took the knife,
I'm sure she just took it.
So you're saying the knife she took... In that case, you may not have taken the knife.
What?
See? He did do it after all!
No, you're wrong.
So, that's how you would twist the arm.
Hold on. It's still too early to decide conclusively that Makoto is the killer, wouldn't you say? Because you see, if the room did belong to the killer, then they did something most bewildering. And until we unravel that little mystery, you simply can't declare that he's the killer.
Bewildering?
Something was missing from the scene of the crime. You know what I'm talking about, don't you?
Now I understand! That's right! There wasn't a single hair on the floor!
So, the culprit removed some evidence?
Yes. And if I were the culprit, why would I need to get rid of all the hair in my... It wouldn't be unusual at all to find my hair at the crime scene.
The reason all the hair was gone was to remove any trace that Sayaka had. That makes sense, does it?
No. If that were the case, they would have had to do something about the body itself, not just her hair.
Okay, then why wasn't
The killer got rid of it all, of course, to remove any trace that...
Wait.
Precisely. It's simply beyond...
Then Makoto isn't the culprit?
Are you sure we can decide something so important?
No. There are other reasons that...
I would like to hear these.
Do you remember anything remarkable about the bathroom at the scene? Sayaka was attacked in the main room first, then fled into the bathroom.
Yeah, then they ran after her, got into the bath...
And how did the killer get into the bathroom?
What do you mean?
It's fairly certain that the killer had some trouble getting into the bathroom. There was clear evidence left behind. Do you...
I got it! Evidence that the killer had trouble getting into the bathroom. You're talking about the doorknob, right?
Huh? The doorknob? What doorknob?
The doorknob for my bathroom. It was completely broken. See how the top part was unscrewed? And the door...
Oh yeah, true. But what does it mean?
In trying to bypass the lock, this is another most bewildering act for the room's owner.
So what? You're saying he wouldn't break the door in his own room? But if the only choice you have is to break it, you break it. There's nothing bewildering about it.
You still don't see? Okay then. Let's take another look at how the incident... The incident took place in Makoto's room. Sayaka was first attacked in the main room. She then fled into the bathroom.
Then the killer ran after her. And they got into the bathroom.
At that point, the killer had to try and bust down the door.
Shoot!
The incident took place in Sayaka was first, she then fled
into the bathroom.
Then the killer ran after her, and they got into the
At that point, the killer had to try and bust down the door. Because Sayaka had locked it.
No, that's wrong! The reason my bathroom didn't open wasn't because it was locked. After all, the girls' rooms are the only—
Yes, now that you mention it.
Then why didn't your bathroom door open?
Because it was stuck.
Huh? What are you talking about?
My bathroom door doesn't fit in the frame quite. Monokuma over there can test—
Yup, true as true can be. But you know, you're supposed to be the ultimate lucky student, right? But to have such a cruddy door. That's not lucky at all.
So the reason the door didn't open was but the killer didn't know that and assumed it was locked.
Okay, but then why would the killer even think the door was— Everyone should have known you can't lock any of the—
The killer could easily make that mistake, thanks to—
I got it! The killer must not have realized that it was my room.
What? Are you saying the culprit didn't even know where he was? That's inconceivable!
And yet, he's absolutely right.
Say what?
Well, to be more specific, what the killer didn't know was that Makoto— which is what led to the misunderstanding about the—
Then there would have been a lock on the door.
So they had no idea how
Ultimately, we can't know if it came open by force. The killer must have been considerably confused with—
Regardless, it was a pointless act. Wasting time trying to break down a door that wasn't—
Definitely something I wouldn't do, since I would have known exactly why it wasn't opening, right?
That is a definite possibility.
So the killer would have to be someone who didn't know they'd switched rooms?
Then Makoto couldn't have done it.
Okay, then who did do?
I'm sorry, but I give up! Quit without saving!
But what happens if we can't decide on who we think did it?
Well then, why don't we just vote right?
Majority rules? You really?
Yeah, our necks are on the line.
Does no one have any other thoughts?
Oh, as a matter of fact, I do have. Oh, you don't gotta sound so disappointed.
It's fine, it's fine.
Oh, yeah. Well, I was just wondering.
Yes.
Maybe Sayaka just dropped the key somewhere and the culprit picked it up. That's possible, right?
I don't think so. That seems way too convenient.
Then maybe someone picked.
Negative! If you remember, Monokuma made it quite clear that the locks are all on.
Fine. How about this? The killer got in. They could have knocked and said they wanted to talk or something, and Miss Maizono just.
No, that can't be it either.
Oh, trying to. Hello? What?
I got it! Because Sayaka was already scared, remember? That's why she asked me to switch rooms in the first place. Knowing what she'd been through, I just can't believe she would have opened the door for anyone.
What if her being scared was a lie?
Huh? Well, what the hell is that supposed to mean? Why would she lie about something like that?
I know you don't want to consider it, but look at this and tell me. Can you still deny the possibility? I found a notepad during my search, and I shaded in the top sheet with a pencil, and these are the words that appeared.
Oh man! I've totally seen people do that on detective shows. When you write, it can leave an imprint. Sketch over the next sheet of paper, and you can see the words. When I saw that, I was like, holy crap! I better make sure I rip the paper out before I use it from now on.
It's a pretty old-fashioned technique, but even the classics can be surprisingly useful sometimes. Oh, and I should also mention, I found the notepad on the desk in Makoto's room.
Huh?
Which means only someone who had been in Makoto's room before the incident could have written it.
Then either it was Makoto who lived there, or Sayaka who switched rooms for a single night.
So, Makoto, did you write this?
No, I didn't.
Of course you didn't, because the note also bears a perfectly legible signature. Sayaka's signature.
But why?
The note was likely her way of getting... She must have slid it under their door to let them know she wanted to meet with them and...
If you got an invitation like that from the ultimate pop sensation, what young man could resist?
Of course, I'm only into 2D, so it wouldn't have any effect on me.
But can we be sure anyone even got this note? And honestly, even if they did, I do not think they are at all involved in what happened.
Huh? What makes you say that?
Would you like to hear what I have to say? Very well then. Pay attention. Sayaka and Makoto switched rooms, correct? But in the note, the place they were asked to come to, it specifically says, my room.
I see. So if someone read that note, then they would have gone to Sayaka's room.
Exactly. The room that Makoto was staying.
No, that's wrong! The nameplates on Mai and Sayaka's rooms got switched.
They got switched?
That's right. The nameplates got switched, just like the rooms themselves. As a result, the nameplate on Sayaka's room actually had Makoto, and the nameplate on Makoto's room had Sayaka's.
So what you're saying is, the room...
Then, if someone did do what the note said, they would end up at Makoto's room where Sayaka was.
Plus, their rooms are right next to each other, so switching the nameplates would be no problem. And the one who switched the names was... Well, of course it wasn't you, right?
Right.
Okay, then...
Shoot! I got it! Me and Sayaka were the only ones who ever knew about us switching rooms. So the only other person besides me who would even know to switch the nameplates was Sayaka.
You can also infer as much from her note. She specifically tells the reader she would only have written that if she...
But why would she switch the...
She wanted someone to come to the room she was in. And...
What?
Inviting someone to your room, but not telling them you'd switched rooms.
To understand, we first need to understand what happened. That's where the answer lies.
What happened then? Whoever she invited over... We figured it out! We know...
But we still don't know who it is, you goddamn idiot!
Sayaka fought with her killer there in the room. Perhaps the answer to our previous question lies in that initial struggle.
Yes, I think you're right.
Then... we just have to figure out what happened during the fight, right?
That reminds me. There was a replica sword at the murder scene. Was that perhaps used during the fight?
Oh yeah. What's the deal with it?
Sayaka suggested I should hold on to it. I thought it seems pretty likely that the killer used it to break Sayaka's...
How the hell could you possibly know that's what broke her wrist?
I got it! All you have to do is take a good look at her broken wrist, and it should become pretty clear. Right there where her wrist is all...
Is that gold?
It sure is. Specifically, the gold coating from the replica sword. You barely have to touch that stuff, and it'll stick right... And there's some on her wrist.
I got it! Because she got hit with the sword! Right there on her wrist!
I see. And so the truth draws...
Alright, then it's about time to When the fighting broke out, the culprit grabbed the sword, and that's when the first blow was dealt. A sword-based sneak attack!
And that's what broke Miss Maizono's wrist!
So, she She tried to fight back. She grabbed the kitchen knife she had hidden away.
Shoot!
When the fighting broke, the culprit, and that's when the first sword-based...
And that's what broke. So she grabbed the. But then the culprit.
And they killed. And that's exactly what happened.
When the fighting broke out, the culprit grabbed the sword, and that's when the first blow was dealt. A sword-based sneak attack!
No, that's wrong! Actually, no.
Huh?
Because the sword's sheath had been scratched. See? There's a gash in it. Like someone cut into it with something sharp.
Something sharp. You
Stop jumping ahead! Slow down and explain it so I get what the hell's going on.
If the sword was used first, there wouldn't be any explanation for the scratch on the sheath. If you were going to attack with the sword, you'd take it out of the sheath first, right?